What is this? A sudden downpour of bright red petals, accompanied by a gentle breeze, floated down onto the arena. Tang Jun looked slightly bewildered, not understanding the mystery behind it. What is Tang Yun up to? Does he really intend to defeat Tang Jun with these petals? Is Tang Yun a sissy? Carrying so many petals with him, it's really ridiculous. Who cares what he's up to? He must be desperate, trying all sorts of cheap tricks. As they watched the petals fluttering down from the sky, mocking and sneering voices filled the arena like a tide. On the high platform, Tang Yen frowned as he watched the red petals falling from the sky and said, "What is Tang Yun doing?" The Grand Elder's eyes narrowed slightly, and he said in a deep voice, "I don't know, pay attention, this move is not that simple. I sense a hint of chilling murderous intent." Upon hearing this, Tang Yen and the others' expressions changed slightly. With the keen sense of a master, they finally sensed a chilling murderous intent hidden among the beautiful petals fluttering in the sky. Watching the red petals falling from the sky, Tang Jun's lips curled in a sneer. "Tang Yun, are you planning to defeat me with these petals? How absurd." He then reached out and pinched a red petal between his fingers. Tang Yun remained silent, the wicked smile on his delicate face becoming more pronounced, as he danced with his long arms along with the falling petals. A rain of petals turns into golden coins. A soft shout suddenly resounded in Tang Yun's mind. He shook his sleeves violently, a strong wind howled, and with a rustling sound, sharp lights and shadows burst out, launching towards Tang Jun unnoticed, hidden by the petals. Playing tricks. Tang Jun coldly snorted, his figure moving towards Tang Yun with a fierce punch. Swish. At that moment, a faint sound of breaking through the air suddenly reached Tang Jun's ears. His face changed slightly as he saw a petal shooting towards him like an arrow. Break! Tang Jun let out a low growl, his fist fiercely smashing onto the petal. With a burst of force, the petal shattered into pieces, revealing a sharp ring behind it. It was none other than a money dart. Swish, swish, swish. Tang Jun crushed the money dart, threw it on the ground, preparing to continue his assault on Tang Yun. However, at that moment, the continuous sound of breaking through the air echoed around him. Tang Jun's face changed drastically as he saw the red petals falling from all directions, turning into deadly weapons in the air, whistling towards him. Tang Jun could perhaps catch one money dart barehanded, even 10 of them, but facing hundreds or thousands of them, combined with Tang Yun's hidden weapon technique of a rain of petals turning into golden coins, even a warrior of the postnatal 8th stage would not be able to withstand it. Tang Jun defended left and right, but the rain of petals falling down obstructed his vision, making it impossible to distinguish which petal concealed a hidden weapon behind it and which one was just an ordinary petal. Puff, 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 puff. Eventually, the rain of petals overwhelmed Tang Jun's defense. A red petal slashed across his cheek, causing intense pain. A crimson bloodline appeared on his handsome face. Subsequently, more red petals broke through Tang Jun's defense, landing on him. The sound of blades slashing continuously echoed as his clothes ripped apart. Numerous wounds appeared on his body, blood gushing out like a fountain. Tang Jun groaned in pain, roaring angrily like a wild beast, but it was futile. At this moment, Tang Jun, disheveled and bloodied, with his clothes torn and blood-soaked, glared angrily at Tang Yun not far away. After the rain of petals completely fell, Tang Jun could not find a single intact spot on his body. He was covered in hideous wounds, bleeding profusely, with blood gushing out like a spring, staining the ground red. Of course, Tang Yun had no intention of killing Tang Jun. Otherwise, at this moment, Tang Jun would have been a corpse, unable to stand there. Even so, Tang Jun was heavily injured. Did those petals really cause all these wounds? Watching Tang Jun on the arena covered in gruesome wounds, the Tang family disciples in the audience showed expressions of shock, gasping in disbelief. Even those who had mocked Tang Yun earlier now had pale faces, realizing the consequences if Tang Yun used this move on them. The wind blew, scattering the red petals on the arena. The Tang family disciples in the audience finally saw what had caused the severe injuries to Tang Jun. On the blue stone arena, centered around Tang Jun, within a 5-step radius, the ground was filled with sharp rings. Under the sunlight, they shimmered with a cold and sharp light. What a mysterious technique! Looking at the sharp rings inserted in the blue stone surface, all the Tang family disciples had a single thought in their minds. Where did Tang Yun learn such a mysterious martial art? On the high platform, the high-level members of the Tang family, seeing the damage caused by Tang Yun's a rain of petals turning into golden coins, couldn't help but be moved. Other Tang family disciples might not have seen it clearly, but could these 5 innate masters not see it? Of course not. They watched Tang Yun throw out hundreds of those strange sharp weapons from his sleeves at lightning speed when he scattered the petals. Each dart was perfectly hidden under the falling petals, making it impossible to distinguish the real from the fake, making it impossible to defend against. Tang Yen and the 4 elders of the Tang family believed that even with their current cultivation, they could not easily achieve what Tang Yun had done. Even if Tang Yun was at a similar level to them, they would not have been unscathed under this move. A terrifying martial art. Unfortunately, this martial art probably requires extremely advanced skills. Even with the techniques, without 10 years of hard work, one cannot achieve what Tang Yun has. Originally thinking of having Tang Yun pass on this powerful and mysterious martial art to the family, the 5 of them were not fools and realized the difficulty of mastering this martial art. Furthermore, due to Tang Yun's previous life, he might not have any goodwill towards the Tang family. If they were to demand it hastily, it might upset Tang Yun, so they had to give up. Of course, if this martial art was easy to practice, Tang Yen and the 4 elders of the Tang family would still shamelessly ask Tang Yun for it. Tang Yun, you are amazing in this battle, I lost. On the arena, although Tang Jun was severely injured, he relied on his strong willpower to support himself from falling. He gazed deeply at Tang Yun and said, "Tell me, what is the name of this martial art?" "My respects." Tang Yun's slightly thin lips curved into a proud arc, as if the most outstanding genius disciple of the Tang family in his past life. He spoke softly and proudly, "Its name is a rain of petals turning into golden coins." "Good, I'll remember that." Tang Jun replied in a deep voice, then closed his eyes slightly, staggered backward, and fell heavily to the ground, unconscious from his severe injuries. With a rain of petals turning into golden coins just now, Tang Yun had squeezed out the last of Tang Jun's energy. Having won the battle, Tang Yun relaxed his nerves, bent his legs, half knelt on the ground, breathing heavily. Tang Yun, victorious. The battle over, Tang Dun stepped onto the arena, loudly announcing the unexpected outcome to everyone. In an instant, all the Tang family disciples erupted in excitement. Some even directly idolized Tang Yun in their hearts. Tang Yun, once considered a waste, had risen unexpectedly at the Tang family's 120th anniversary celebration, shining brightly with a mysterious martial art move, defeating Tang Jun and taking his place, becoming the new leading figure of the Tang family. A complete rise to power. This left a profound mark on the history of the Tang family. At dawn, in the Far East, a hint of fish belly white emerged, with a faint golden rainbow appearing on the horizon. A dazzling morning sun rose slowly into the sky. In an instant, the aura of the sun, as strong and bright as ever, appeared between heaven and earth. Tang Yun, sitting cross-legged on the roof, smoothly absorbed the aura of the sun, activated his cultivation method to refine it, making the purple shine evil eyes even purer. The current purple shine evil eyes had reached the level of microscopic realm, and with one step forward, it would reach the infinite realm. At that time, the power of the purple shine evil eyes would truly be revealed. After refining the aura of the sun, Tang Yun leaped down from the roof, returned to the room, and began to use poison to refine the dark jade hand. The current dark jade hand already contained 8 kinds of potent poisons. If they were all released, the entire Tang family, except for a few innate powerhouses like Tang Yen and those above the 7-fold post-heaven realm, would probably all perish. However, Tang Yun was not a bloodthirsty demon, and the poison was only used to refine the dark jade hand, with no other purpose. Of course, this was also because Tang Yun had not found a target for poisoning. Every kind of poison in the Tang family was extremely terrifying, causing great pain to those who were poisoned. Therefore, the Tang family had an ancestral motto, Tang family's potent poisons, except for deep blood feuds, major evils, or provoking the disciples of the Tang family, should not be used indiscriminately, and absolutely not to be used to harm the innocent. As a talented disciple of the Tang family, Tang Yun naturally had to uphold the ancestral motto and not go against it in the slightest. After practicing the Dark Jade Hand, Tang Yun also studied the second-ranked martial art, Mountain Splitting Finger, making the martial art even more perfect and powerful. By the time Tang Yun finished all his cultivation, it was already early morning, with the sun shining brightly. Young Master Xiao Qian's voice came from outside the door. "Oh, Xiao Qian." Tang Yun walked to the door, opened it, and looked at Xiao Qian standing outside in a light blue dress, smiling. "What's the matter for young master so early in the morning?" Xiao Qian smiled faintly and replied, "Young master, the patriarch wants you to go to the study." "Okay, I got it." Tang Yun nodded, returned to the room, freshened up, changed into a set of blue clothes, and headed towards the patriarch's study. Along the way, if he encountered Tang family disciples or servants, they would step aside, bow slightly to Tang Yun, and respectfully call him Brother Yun or Young Master Yun from the bottom of their hearts. 3 days had passed since the annual festival ended. The news of Tang Yun defeating Tang Jun had spread throughout the Tang family, and even the Zhao family and Di family in the same city knew about the appearance of a young genius like Tang Yun in the Tang family. Now, Tang Yun's status and identity were lofty, and those who used to ignore him were now trying to get close to him. The Tang family patriarch, Tang Yen, calling Tang Yun to the study should be to announce his reward. According to the usual practice after the annual festival, rewards would be given to the top 3 winners. However, due to the intense competition this year, with Tang Yun lightly injured and Tang Jun seriously injured, and only Tang Sanqian unscathed in 3rd place, the rewards were postponed for 3 days to allow the 2 of them to recover from their injuries. 3 days passed quickly, and Tang Yun not only recovered completely but also made great progress in his cultivation, advancing to the peak of the 7th post-heaven realm. However, his displayed strength was still at the peak of the 6th post-heaven realm. Arriving at the patriarch's study, a Tang family steward led Tang Yun into the room. The patriarch's study was about dozens of steps in size, with couplets, ink paintings, and a bookshelf filled with various books hanging around. It was antique and elegant. At this moment, there was only Tang Yen in the study, sitting at the desk with his eyes closed, with sandalwood incense smoke curling up in front of him, as if he was resting his eyes. "You're here." Tang Yun entered the study, and Tang Yen, who had closed his eyes, opened them and said softly, "Tang Yun greets the patriarch." Tang Yun bowed slightly to Tang Yen as a form of respect. Looking at Tang Yun's appearance, Tang Yen was slightly stunned, then a touch of bitterness spread from the corner of his mouth. "Even if you say that, I am still your father. You don't need to be so distant, right?" Hearing this, Tang Yun pursed his lips, not denying it a sigh. "It's my own fault, I can't live with it." Tang Yen shook his head with a sigh. "Yuner, I was sorry to you before. You can rest assured that from now on, I will make it up to you. Don't hold grudges against the family and me." "I don't." Tang Yun shook his head and smiled lightly. "I, Tang Yun, never hold grudges against anyone. It was my own lack of ability in the past, living that kind of life. Now that the Tang family wants to compensate me, it's probably because they see my potential. Patriarch, please rest assured regardless, I am a member of the Tang family. If the Tang family doesn't let me down, I won't let the Tang family down." "Yuner, you." Tang Yun's words made Tang Yen slightly stunned, his heart aching as if being stabbed by needles, almost bleeding. The former father and son now seemed like strangers, with Tang Yun speaking as if they were superiors and subordinates. Taking a deep breath, Tang Yen wanted to say something, but he didn't know what to say. "Yuner, this is your reward for ranking first. It's all in this infinite bag." Tang Yen took out a delicate light blue cloth bag from his waist and threw it to Tang Yun. Because you were first, besides having the qualification to select secret techniques at the martial pavilion, you can also take some cultivation resources from the family's warehouse. Infinite bag. Tang Yun naturally knew what an infinite bag was. This thing was a good item, although it looked palm-sized on the surface. It contained a vast space inside where inconvenient items could be stored at will, with an area of at least 30 square meters. This item had been a long-time desire for Tang Yun. Having an infinite bag would provide a storage space for his hidden weapons, and it would be very convenient for access, just a thought away. However, the infinite bag was too precious, and Tang Yun did not expect the family to give him one. But now, the surprise came too suddenly. He actually got the infinite bag he had been dreaming of. Thank you, Patriarch. Not to mention the contents of the infinite bag and the additional rewards, just having an infinite bag made Tang Yun feel that participating in the annual festival was not in vain. This is what you deserve, you may leave. Tang Yan's mood didn't seem good, waving his hand to signal Tang Yun to leave. Tang Yun walked out of the study, holding the infinite bag, feeling elated, and returned to his own courtyard. Back in his courtyard, Tang Yun attached his spiritual power to the infinite bag, making it his own property, then opened the infinite bag to see what rewards the family had given him. There weren't many things inside the infinite bag, including a spiritual medicine called Qi Boosting Pill. Taking one could increase a warrior's cultivation by half a year, made from many precious herbs. It was a valuable treasure of the lower second rank. However, each person was limited to taking only one. In addition to the lower second rank Qi Boosting Pill, there were some scattered treasures inside, not very valuable, but materials needed for Tang Yun to prepare poison and make hidden weapons. Furthermore, there was a treasure even more valuable than the Qi Boosting Pill, a 4th rank martial art, Mountain Sealing Seal. Of course, it was just a handwritten copy, but it was still extremely precious. However, this martial art required at least the strength of the peak of the post-heaven grand perfection to cultivate. But relying on the special Jade Vital Energy in his body, Tang Yun began to study this 4th rank martial art all night. With Tang Yun's current knowledge, he naturally understood the value of a 4th rank martial art. The entire Tang family did not have more than 10 4th rank martial arts, and now they were giving him one. Even if it was just a handwritten copy, it was a considerable investment by the Tang family to win him over. For whatever reason, Tang Yun would repay the Tang family in some way. After all, he was now a member of the Tang family. In a spacious room, Tang Yun sat on the bed, with his eyes slightly closed and his hands forming strange seals in front of his chest. The qi in his body surged through specific meridians like tidal waves, converging towards the palms of his hands. As the qi condensed in his palms, a faint jade-colored light flickered unpredictably. A baby fist-sized mountain-like shadow of condensed qi formed in his palms. The mountain-like qi shadow was extremely vague, but exuded a heavy aura like a real mountain range. Tang Yun continuously poured his internal qi into the mountain-like shadow in his palms, making it more solid. 4th grade martial arts, Mountain Sealing Seal. When the mountain-like shadow reached its peak of condensation, Tang Yun, with his eyes still closed, suddenly opened them, leaped high into the air, held the mountain-like qi shadow in his hands, and fiercely smashed it down. Boom! A dull sound suddenly resounded as Tang Yun's Mountain Sealing Seal fiercely smashed onto the green wooden table in the room. The terrifying force poured out, the green wooden table groaned, shattered into pieces, and even the ground sank 3 inches under the pressure. Tang Yun withdrew the qi from his palms, exhaled slowly, and wiped the sweat from his forehead. Although it was just one strike, the dense sweat on his forehead indicated the considerable energy expenditure. Impressive 4th grade martial arts, extremely powerful. If I had mastered this Mountain Sealing Seal back then, I could have defeated Tang Jun without even using hidden weapons. Tang Yun looked at the destruction caused by the Mountain Sealing Seal, nodding in satisfaction. Of course, this was not the true power of 4th grade martial arts. In fact, Tang Yun's current strength did not qualify him to practice the mountain ceiling seal. It was his effective Jade Chi that cleared his meridians and his comprehension of martial arts that allowed him to grasp some essence of 4th grade martial arts and display it. Even just a bit of essence of 4th grade martial arts was extremely formidable, far beyond what 3rd grade martial arts could compare to. Although the two were only 1 grade apart, the gap between them was an insurmountable chasm. The next morning, after finishing his morning practice, Tang Yun headed towards the family's martial arts pavilion based on his memory, because as the winner of the annual sacrifice, he was entitled to choose 2 3rd grade martial arts books to practice from the martial arts pavilion. Although it was said that being greedy would lead to no good, this principle clearly did not apply to Tang Yun. However, on his way to the martial arts pavilion, Tang Yun unexpectedly ran into Tang Lang. Seeing Tang Yun from afar, Tang Lang's face changed slightly. He turned and walked away, not daring to face Tang Yun at all. His greatest reliance, Tang Jun, was no match for Tang Yun. Now, Tang Lang didn't dare to challenge Tang Yun, fearing the consequences. Moreover, he had targeted Tang Yun before, even sending people to abduct Tang Yun's personal maid Xiao Qian. If Tang Yun sought revenge, no one could save him now. Therefore, seeing Tang Yun, it was wise for Tang Lang to avoid him. But Tang Lang intended to keep his distance from Tang Yun, while Tang Yun had other plans for him. Of course, Tang Yun had no intention of taking his life. Dealing with Tang Lang now was as easy as crushing an ant for him. It wasn't worth his effort to think about Tang Lang. However, since this guy had caused trouble for him before and created a grudge, not giving him a lesson would not only make Tang Yun feel uneasy but also prevent Tang Lang from truly fearing him. Perhaps he might come back to bite him at some point. Tang Lang, come here. Watching Tang Lang hurry away, Tang Yun's lips slightly curled, revealing a sinister smile. He suddenly shouted. If it were before, facing Tang Yun's call, Tang Lang would definitely ignore it. But now, Tang Yun was shining in the Tang family, so Tang Lang couldn't pretend not to hear him. As Tang Lang hesitantly took a step forward, his stiff face squeezed out a fake smile, turning around and saying, "Oh, it's Big Brother. What can I do for you?" "Tang Lang, I remember you didn't call me that way before." Tang Yun walked towards Tang Lang with a smile that wasn't a smile. "Big Brother," Tang Lang's face turned bitter, with a pleading tone, "My big brother, in the past, I was blinded by my arrogance. That's why I dared to oppose you everywhere. You are a big man, don't hold a grudge against me. In the past, I won't hold a grudge against you now." Tang Yun patted Tang Lang's shoulder and smiled slightly. Upon hearing this, Tang Lang was momentarily stunned, then his face lit up with joy. He was about to kneel and thank Tang Yun. "Thank you, Big Brother, for your generosity. However, a few days ago, you dared to send people to capture Xiao Qian. This matter, I have to discuss with you how to resolve it." Tang Yun's smiling face quickly turned cold, and his tone became icy. "Ah." Tang Lang was taken aback. He suddenly remembered that 2 months ago, he had foolishly sent 3 servants to capture Xiao Qian. As a result, Xiao Qian was not captured, and those 3 servants went missing. Initially, Tang Lang didn't care, but now that Tang Yun mentioned it, he remembered. "Do you want me to take you to meet those 3 dog servants?" Tang Yun looked at Tang Lang with a cold expression. "What did you do to them?" Tang Lang seemed to have guessed the fate of those 3 and swallowed nervously. Tang Yun gave a cold smile and said, "Of course, I sent them to meet the King of Hell. Do you want to join them?" "What?" Hearing this, Tang Lang felt his scalp tingle. Scared, he fell to the ground, looking distressed. "Big Brother, it was my mistake. Please spare me. Don't kill me. Will apologize to Miss Qian tomorrow." Tang Lang seemed genuinely scared by Tang Yun. If it were before, he would never have referred to a maid as Miss. Not calling her a lowly maid was already a big deal. "Good. With that attitude, I'll let you off," Tang Yun chuckled coldly. "But remember, while the death penalty can be pardoned, the living sin is hard to escape." With that, Tang Yun walked away, leaving Tang Lang in a daze. "Thank you, Big Brother." Watching Tang Yun leave, Tang Lang squeezed out a fake smile of gratitude, but in his heart, he was seething with resentment, muttering, "You arrogant thing, just because you've had some success. Wait for me, one day, I will make you kneel before me and beg for mercy. Some people, if you let them off easily without teaching them a lesson, they won't be grateful. Instead, they will always think about how to retaliate against you. Tang Lang was clearly one of those people. But would Tang Yun only give him a verbal warning? Huh? Why am I so itchy all over? Not long after Tang Yun left, Tang Lang, tidying himself up, was about to leave. But as he took a step forward, a strange itch suddenly appeared on his back. Tang Lang tried to scratch it, but the more he scratched, the itchier it became. Then, the strange itch spread like ripples from his back, covering his whole body. Tang Lang kept trying to scratch, but instead of relief, the itch intensified. He scratched harder, and his sharp nails directly tore his skin, leaving him bloody and in pain. Seeing this scene, Tang Lang was horrified but couldn't control himself. He continued to scratch all over his body, leaving behind crimson scratch marks, the intense pain and itch tormenting him. A piercing scream echoed from Tang Lang's mouth. At this moment, his clothes were torn, his body covered in bloodstains, blood scabs forming on his skin. The strange itch persisted, seeming to penetrate into his bones. Tang Lang rolled on the ground in an attempt to relieve the pain, but it was futile. As Tang Lang's consciousness blurred, a tall figure suddenly appeared in his sight. Looking closely, it was Tang Yun who had returned. Associating his strange symptoms with Tang Yun's peculiar behavior, Tang Lang's eyes filled with horror. "What have you done to me?" I said, "Just giving you a lesson." Tang Yun squatted down, revealing a cold smile. He flicked his fingers, and a pill named Snake Shed from the mystic jade palm flew into Tang Lang's mouth. "This time, I spare your life, but if you dare provoke me again, you will gradually move towards death in torment." Bang! With those words, Tang Yun kicked Tang Lang, sending him flying into the nearby lake. Then, with a cold look, he turned and walked away. "Devil! You are a devil!" Falling into the lake, Tang Lang's strange itch had subsided, but his mind was already engulfed by fear. Looking at Tang Yun's departing figure, he kept murmuring in a low voice, trembling uncontrollably, unable to free himself. In fact, Tang Yun hadn't done anything to Tang Lang. When he patted Tang Lang's shoulder earlier, he had sprinkled a poison called Snake Shed from the mystic jade palm on him. Snake Shed was a very cruel poison used by Tang disciples to deal with traitors or thieves who coveted the Tang family's scriptures. Anyone poisoned by Snake Shed would experience an unbearable itch all over their body, similar to a snake shedding its skin. They would need vigorous rubbing to alleviate the itching pain. However, this kind of itch couldn't be relieved without an antidote. Even if one scratched themselves until they were covered in blood, the itch wouldn't go away. Ultimately, the poisoned person would die in excruciating torment. But Tang Yun had no intention of taking Tang Lang's life. He just wanted to teach him a lesson. After removing the Snake Shed poison for him, Tang Lang would recover after a few days, with no threat to his life. However, this experience left a deep psychological scar on Tang Lang. In the future, he would not only avoid provoking Tang Yun but would also run away at the sight of him out of fear. After teaching Tang Lang a lesson, Tang Yun set off for the Tang family's martial pavilion. The Tang family's martial pavilion is located in a quiet and spacious courtyard to the south of the Tang family mansion, surrounded by lush bamboo forests and flowers, with a faint view of the appearance of the martial pavilion in the distance. The Tang family's martial pavilion is a tower made of refined iron. The tower is pitch black, with a total of 4 floors, about 2 to 3 meters high, like a giant steel statue standing in the spacious courtyard, emanating an ancient and desolate aura. As Tang Yun traveled, although he did not see anyone, his keen senses detected at least 10 experts hidden around the tower in the shadows. The Tang family's martial pavilion is one of the basic conditions for the Tang family to maintain its strength for 100 years. The Tang family naturally cannot be careless and will definitely send experts to guard it. The outer perimeter is like this, and it is likely that inside the martial pavilion, there are hidden experts from the Tang family. Tang Yun did not believe that the Tang family only had 5 experts at the acquired stage on the surface, because the Tang family could stand tall in Luo Qingcheng for 100 years without falling, indicating that they must have a very profound background. Who goes there? Before Tang Yun reached the martial pavilion, 2 guards in black armor standing at the entrance of the martial pavilion on the left and right stopped him, their faces cold and emotionless, as they asked, "As the first in the annual competition, I am here to select martial arts on behalf of the family head." Tang Yun took out an iron token from his waist pouch and handed it to one of the black-armored guards. "Tang Yun?" The black-armored guard took the token, carefully inspected it, then handed it back to Tang Yun, looking somewhat surprised. It seemed that these black-armored guards who often guarded the martial pavilion had also heard of Tang Yun's sudden rise to fame. "That's right." Tang Yun took back the token, nodding indifferently. "Your token is of 3rd level, allowing you free access to the first 3 floors. However, if you want to select martial arts, you can only choose 4 first-grade martial arts, or 3 second-grade martial arts, or 2 third-grade martial arts. Also, after selecting martial arts, you need to register before leaving." The black-armored guard glanced deeply at Tang Yun, repeated the rules, then both turned around to push open the seemingly heavy black iron door. Boom, in a muffled sound like that of an ancient behemoth stepping, the pitch-black iron door slowly opened to the sides, and pale golden sunlight scattered into the tower. "Thank you." Tang Yun thanked them and stepped into the martial pavilion. The first floor of the martial pavilion had an area of about a few hundred steps, with rows of bookshelves neatly lined up, displaying various martial arts manuals. However, Tang Yun was not interested in first-grade martial arts, so he directly skipped the first floor and headed to the second floor. The layout of the second floor of the martial pavilion was similar to the first floor, with fewer bookshelves and martial arts manuals. Tang Yun still had no interest and went straight to the 3rd floor of the martial pavilion. Although the 3rd floor of the martial pavilion was large, it was quite empty, with only 2 rows of bookshelves in the center, sparsely displaying several manuals, making it look very desolate compared to the lower floors, but there were still around a dozen books. With the strength of the Tang family, owning a few dozen 3rd-grade martial arts collections was already very impressive, which in some smaller families, 1 3rd-grade martial art could become a treasure of the clan. Tang Yun quickly browsed through all the martial arts on the 3rd floor and soon selected a 3rd-grade martial art named Rolling Stone Fist and Condensing Yuan Finger. "Is that the entrance to the 4th floor?" Tang Yun stood in the center of the 3rd floor, looking at the stairs leading to the 4th floor, feeling a faint urge to go and explore, but his rationality told him he couldn't. The martial pavilion was a vital existence for the Tang family, and even the family head had to abide by the rules of the martial pavilion. The token indicated that Tang Yun only had the qualification to go to the 3rd floor, so he could only stay on the 3rd floor. If he set his sights on the 4th floor, he might be caught by the experts guarding the martial pavilion as soon as he took a step, and he would definitely face severe punishment. With his current strength, Tang Yun could not act recklessly. "Let's go, today's harvest is enough." Tang Yun felt a bit regretful but understood that he did not have the qualifications to go to the 4th floor of the martial pavilion. With a light sigh, he turned and left the martial pavilion. As he left the martial pavilion, Tang Yun handed over the 2 martial arts manuals to the black-armored guards for registration, promised to return them in 7 days, and left the martial pavilion with the 2 third-grade martial arts manuals. After obtaining the martial arts manuals, Tang Yun did not hurry back but went to the Tang family's storage room. To compensate Tang Yun, the Tang family provided him with enough benefits, not only rewarding him with the waist pouch, 3rd and 4th grade martial arts, and treasures like the elemental enhancement pill, but also allowing Tang Yun to freely choose the resources he needed from the Tang family's storage room. This honor was probably the first in the 100 years since the Tang family was established. In the Tang family's storage room, Tang Yun selected some medicinal herbs for making poisons and metals for crafting hidden weapons, then returned to his own courtyard, planning to go to the Sharp Edge the next day to find Elder Ouyang and help him craft the 30th ranked hidden weapon in the Tang clan's hidden weapon manual. After a busy day, when he returned to his courtyard, it was already dusk. Absorbing the aura of dusk, Tang Yun used the purple radiant evil eye to refine it, making the black and white yin-yang fish in his pupils clearer, then started to prepare the poison. The poison Tang Yun was preparing this time was quite famous in the Tang clan, called the Yama Invitation. As the saying goes, when Yama invites you to die at 3 in the morning, who dares to let you live until 5 in the morning? The invitation sent by Yama means that the poisoned person must immediately return to the underworld to meet Yama. Just by the name, you can tell how domineering this Yama Invitation is. After strenuous efforts, Tang Yun finally prepared the Yama Invitation and then used the Mystic Jade Hand to absorb it. The toxicity of the Yama Invitation was extremely potent. After refining it, Tang Yun's Mystic Jade Hand directly broke through to the realm of minor completion. The jade-colored light spots that were originally the size of soybeans in his palms were now covered all over, and when both palms transformed into something like warm jade, it would be the time when the Mystic Jade Hand reached completion. At that time, the Mystic Jade Hand would be impervious to all poisons, able to release any previously ingested toxins at will, and even beyond the realm of flesh and blood, becoming a divine weapon that could not be harmed. When displaying martial arts, it also had extremely strong amplification abilities. Like Tang Yun, in the annual competition, he was able to resist Tang Jun's third-grade martial art, Fierce Sun Claw, with his second-grade martial art, Mountain Splitting Finger, and the unbreakable nature of the Mystic Jade Hand was inseparable from this. In short, Tang Yun's 3 refinements of the Mystic Heaven, through arduous cultivation, continued to make steady progress. And his elemental cultivation, relying on the profound Mystic Heaven scripture, was also progressing rapidly. At night, desolate as water, with a clear moon and sparse stars, the bright and hazy moonlight poured down like liquid silver, shining through the window and forming scattered specks of light in the room. Tang Yun sat cross-legged on the soft bed in the room. In front of him, there was a small jade bottle. Inside, there was a spirit medicine called a Qi Boosting Pill, which helps martial artists enhance the vigor in their bodies. Tonight, Tang Yun was going to break through with the help of the Qi Boosting Pill. Although it's relying on external substances, it won't leave any troublesome aftermath, so there's no harm in using it. Tang Yun picked up the jade bottle, tilted it slightly, and a round, pale white pill rolled out. In an instant, a refreshing faint fragrance wafted out from the round pill, refreshing the mouth when smelled a gulp. Tang Yun picked up the round pill and unhesitatingly popped it into his mouth. As the pill entered his mouth, it instantly transformed into a flow of vigor that swept through Tang Yun's limbs and bones, causing his delicate face to flush red due to the abundant vigor. Although the vigor brought by the Qi Boosting Pill was not particularly profound, Tang Yun still didn't dare to be negligent. He closed his eyes slightly, clasped his hands at his dantian, and began silently circulating his cultivation technique. Under the guidance of Tang Yun's cultivation technique, the influx of vigor into his body circulated along specific meridians, refining and absorbing the vigor. A faint jade-like luster appeared on his skin, giving it a crystal-clear and smooth appearance. After about 2 hours, the converted vigor from the Qi Boosting Pill had been completely refined and absorbed, flowing back to the dantian through the tough and broad meridians. At this moment, Tang Yun's dantian was filled with a shimmering jade-colored vigor, translucent and smooth, like a pond with gentle ripples. When the vigor in Tang Yun's dantian reached its peak, that would be the realm of great consummation of postnatal. And now, the level of vigor in Tang Yun's dantian was equivalent to the peak of the 7th layer of postnatal. This realm was completely achieved by relying on the Qi Boosting Pill to elevate. Breaking through to the 7th layer of postnatal, Tang Yun not only felt that his vigor had increased substantially, but even his body had a refreshing feeling, like a rebirth. This feeling was akin to washing the marrow and forging the bones. In fact, that was the case. The cultivation of the postnatal realm was essentially the process of martial artists tempering their bodies with the vitality of heaven and earth, laying a solid foundation. Just like building a tall building from the ground up, only by laying a solid foundation could one walk further and longer on the path of martial arts cultivation in the future. When the body was tempered to its limit, that would be the realm of great consummation of postnatal. Taking one step forward would lead to becoming a prenatal expert. Currently, although Tang Yun possessed the strength of the 7th layer of postnatal peak, the prenatal realm seemed only 2 steps away on the surface. However, these final 2 steps would be the most difficult to take. Haven't you seen how many martial artists at the great consummation of postnatal level were stuck at the barrier before the prenatal realm? Nevertheless, Tang Yun was confident that he would eventually reach the prenatal realm. What he needed to do now was to accumulate strength, continue to strengthen himself, and when he had enough reserves, he could easily break through the barrier between the postnatal realm and the prenatal realm, thus achieving success naturally. In the early morning, Tang Yun finished all his cultivation, freshened up, had breakfast, and then left the Tang family's residence, heading towards the Sharp Edge ship. Tang Yun was going to ask Brother Ouyang for help to reforge some hidden weapons, and of course, the most important thing was the fierce hidden weapon ranked 30th in the Tang family hidden weapon manual. Actually, Tang Yun could forge this set of hidden weapons himself, but out of trust in Brother Ouyang, he decided to ask for his help. Brother Ouyang, I'm here. Walking into the backyard of the Sharp Edge with familiarity, Tang Yun saw Brother Ouyang busy at work. So it's Brother Tang. Ouyang greeted with a smile, walking over, pretending to scold, Brother, you're not honest. It's been a while since you left last time. Hee, I've been busy with some things lately, so I didn't have time to come over. Please forgive me, Brother Ouyang. Tang Yun smiled helplessly and arched his hand towards Ouyang. You never come empty-handed. Ouyang rolled his eyes, not in a good mood. Tell me, what do you need my help with this time? Tang Yun awkwardly smiled and said, Hee, Brother Ouyang has sharp eyes, seeing through my intentions at a glance. Admire, don't try to deceive me. Ouyang waved his hand, getting straight to the point. Do you need to forge the same hidden weapon as last time? No, Tang Yun shook his head, then continued, it's a hidden weapon even more exquisite than last time. I estimate that in the whole Luoqing city, only Brother Ouyang's craftsmanship can create it. Really? Upon hearing this, Ouyang's eyes immediately lit up, like a pervert seeing a beautiful woman. Quick, show me the manufacturing blueprint. Brother, don't be in a hurry. Tang Yun smiled helplessly. This old brother of his was so obsessed with forging weapons that he took out the drawn blueprint from his arms. Before he could hand it over, Ouyang snatched it away, carefully unfolding it to examine the method of making the hidden weapon ranked 30th in the Tang family hidden weapon manual. Each ranked hidden weapon in the Tang family hidden weapon manual was the essence of the ancestors of the Tang family's painstaking effort, with a profound and mysterious level of sophistication. Without precise manufacturing blueprints, no one could manufacture them. The manufacturing process of this set of hidden weapons was extremely complicated. Tang Yun meticulously wrote down every detail. Ouyang's eyes sparkled as he looked at it, completely absorbed. Just by looking at the manufacturing blueprint, it took him 2 hours before he reluctantly withdrew his gaze. Ouyang took a deep breath, carefully put away the manufacturing blueprint, and said, Brother Tang, this hidden weapon of yours is truly exquisite. You're right, only I, Ouyang, in the whole Luoqing city, have the confidence to create it. Thank you, Brother Ouyang. A smile appeared on Tang Yun's face. Then he took out all the materials needed to forge the set of hidden weapons from the storage bag. Brother, I have all the materials ready. All right, since everything is ready, let me rest for a day, replenish my energy, and then come back to forge it for you. Ouyang, in his current state, was too excited and not suitable for crafting such a sophisticated hidden weapon. He needed a night to calm his mind, showing how much importance he placed on forging this set of hidden weapons. Tang Yun asked, Brother Ouyang, how many days do you need? Do you need me to assist? No need. Ouyang waved his hand, saying, just 10 days, and I'll be able to forge this hidden weapon. It will be the most satisfying thing I've ever created in my life, with power comparable to intermediate divine weapons. But unfortunately, it's disposable. The so-called divine weapons were weapons made of special iron, possessing immense power. Tang Yun had heard that some advanced divine weapons had the power to split mountains and earth. Those weapons that could cut iron like mud and break hair like thread were extremely fragile in front of divine weapons. However, forging divine weapons was a privilege exclusive to prenatal experts. 10 days passed quickly, and Tang Yun returned to the sharp edge. Brother Tang, I didn't disappoint you. The forging was successful. When Tang Yun arrived, Ouyang, looking tired, walked out of the room, holding a delicate wooden box in his hand, and handed it to Tang Yun. Brother Ouyang, you've worked hard. Tang Yun felt a bit apologetic. Brother Ouyang had put his heart and soul into this, making Tang Yun feel a bit guilty. No problem. Although Ouyang looked tired, his eyes sparkled with excitement. Speaking of which, I have to thank you. If it weren't for you, I'm afraid I wouldn't have had a chance to forge such an exquisite hidden weapon in my life. Ouyang urged, quick, open it and take a look. Okay. Tang Yun nodded and opened the delicate wooden box in his hand. When Tang Yun lifted the top of the wooden box, a dazzling purple light burst out from the seams, reflecting on Tang Yun and Ouyang's faces. In the box were a pile of purple beads, resembling pearls, with thousands of them. Each purple bead exuded a faint, dangerous aura. Although these purple beads looked ordinary, they were the fierce hidden weapon ranked 30th in the Tang family hidden weapon manual, the 3000 Thunder.